Show the patient how to strike one hand on the thigh, raise the hand, turn it over, and then strike the back of the hand down on the same place. Urge the patient to repeat these alternating movements as rapidly as possible. Observe the speed, rhythm, and smoothness of the movements. Repeat with the other hand. The non dominant hand may perform less well. In cerebral disease, instead of alternating quickly, these movements are slow, irregular, and clumsy, an abnormality called dysdiadokinesis. Show the patient how to tap the distal joint of the thumb with the tip of the index finger, against as rapidly as possible. Again, observe the speed, rhythm, and smoothness of the movements. The non dominant side often performs less well. Ask the patient to tap the ball of each foot in turn as quickly as possible on your hand or the floor. Note any slowness or awkwardness. Normally, the feet do not perform as well as the hands. Dysdiadokinesis points to cerebellar disease. Ask the patient to touch your index finger and then his or her nose alternatively several times. Move your finger so that the patient has to change directions and extend the arm fully to reach your finger. Observe the accuracy and smoothness of movements and watch for any tremor. In cerebellar disease, movements are clumsy, unsteady, and inappropriately variable in their speed, force, and direction. In dysmetria, the patient's finger may initially overshoot the mark but then reach it fairly well. An intention tremor may appear towards the end of the movement. Now hold your finger in one place so that the patient can touch it with one arm and finger outstretched. Ask the patient to raise the arm overhead and lower it again to touch your finger. After several repeats, ask the patient to close both eyes and try several more times. Repeat on the other side. Normally, the patients touch the examiner's finger successfully with eyes open or closed. These maneuvers test position sense and the function of both the labyrinth of the inner ear and the cerebellum. In cerebellar disease, incoordination modestly worsens with eyes closed, indicating loss of position sense, consistent deviation to one side which worsens with the eye closed. Referred to as past pointing, suggests cerebellar or vestibular disease. Legs heel to shin test. Ask the patient to place one heel to the on the opposite knee, then run it down the shin to the big toe. Observe the movements for smoothness and accuracy. Repetition with the patient's eyes closed test for position sense. Repeat on the other side. In cerebellar disease, the heel may overshoot the knee, then oscillate from side to side down the shin. Ask the patient to walk across the room and down the hall, then turn and come back. Observe the posture, balance, swinging of the arms, and movement of the legs. Normally, balance is intact. The arms swing symmetrically at the sides and turns are smooth. Walk heel to heel, toe in a straight line, called tandem walking. Tandem walking may reveal ataxia that is not otherwise obvious. Walk on the toes, then on the heels. This tests plantar flexion and dorsiflexion of the ankles as well as balance. Walking on toes and heels may reveal distal leg weakness, inability to heel walk in a sensitive test for corticospinal tract damage. Hop in place on each foot in turn. This tests proximal and distal muscle stretch in the legs and requires both normal position sense and cerebellar function. Difficulty hopping points to weakness, lack of position sense, or cerebellar dysfunction. For the last test, do a shallow knee bend first on one leg, then on the other. Steady the patient if you think the patient might fall. Difficulty doing shallow knee bends suggests proximal weakness, weakness of the quadriceps, or both. Stance. First, the Romberg test. This is mainly a test of position sense. The patient should first stand with feet together and eyes open and then close both eyes for 30 to 60 seconds without support. Note the patient's ability to maintain an upright posture. Normally, any swaying is minimal. In ataxia from dorsal column, disease and loss of position sense vision compensates for the sensory loss. The patient stands fairly well with eyes open but loses balance when they are closed. In cerebellar ataxia, the patient has difficulty standing with feet together whether the eyes are open or closed. Test for pronator drift. The patient should stand for 20 to 30 seconds with eyes closed and both arms held straight forward with palms up. Normally, patients hold this arm position well. If necessary, patients can be tested in the sitting position. Next, instruct the patient to keep the arms out and eyes shut and tap the arms briskly downward. The arms normally return smoothly to the horizontal position. This response requires muscular strength, coordination, and good position sense. Pronator drift occurs when one forearm and palm turn inward and down and is both sensitive and specific for a corticospinal tract lesion in the contralateral hemisphere. Downward drift of the arm with flexion of fingers and elbow is also seen.